worldwide, we know that nothing happens by chance, that everything is by a divine appointment. For our viewing audience, if you're tuning in at this moment, this message is for you. Because we know that through the dynamic laws of correspondence and attraction, we're always exactly where we need to be. And I love our theme, Invisible Acts of Power. This is a book that Carolyn Mace wrote, a very profound work, and discussing the principles that we have been teaching for literally centuries, it seems. And when we acknowledge that all that's seen was once an idea in the mind of God whose time has come, that the time is now and the place is where we are. And when Emerson said there is no spot where God is not, everything is unfolding in this spiritual energy. And so as we look at today, the opportunity to look closer at grace, intuition, and power, that all grace and power is given unto us by virtue of the fact that we are here, that we are created in the image and likeness of something so profound. And when we recognize this, that it is not only good, it is very good, we are told. So by the grace of God, we are here. We're living our lives one moment at a time. We're having our experiences. We're living, we're loving, we're laughing, we're weeping. All of it is part of the human condition. And as our humanness gives way to the divine, the Christ consciousness arises triumphant and victorious. That Buddha nature, the heart of compassion, the holy I am presence that said, I am has sent me. That whatever we put after I am creates our reality. And when we get it, that I am within each and every one of us is unfolding in miraculous ways. So we didn't do anything to or earn it or deserve this grace of God. Whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our higher power, we didn't do anything to earn that. That comes in the package, the divine package, that you are a child of God. That it's your divine right to live and have your experience and to have lives that are lived in. And when we have lives that are lived in, we expand in amazing ways. That there is miraculousness in this thing called life as we let go at a deeper level and experience that direct contact with God and allowing our intuition to come forth. Be still and know that I am God. And when the psalmist made this declaration, be still and know that I am God, it was so powerful because each and every one of us is a co-creator with our God, whatever name we choose to put on it. Yahweh, Brahman, Jehovah, Buddha, it matters not. There is one God, Allah is his name. And when we recognize that all these amazing pathways lead to the same place, and that view from the summit is always the same. So it matters not how we get to that place, whatever pathway that we use, it doesn't matter. But to know that we are empowered by it, and that we are feeling our connection one with the other, regardless of color, race, creed, sexual orientation, or political affiliation. That we are deeply and profoundly connected. All power and grace is given unto us. And there is an amazing, when we look at dreams, Joseph, was the great dream maker and had these visions. And he went to his father and he was sharing with his father about the sheaves of corn. And that the corn, there were several stalks of corn, and he was like a singular stalk representative. And they were bowing down to him. And of course his brothers took tremendous exception to this. They were very jealous of Joseph. And of course, Joseph did not really use a lot of humility in this either. He was, his father's favorite son. And he received the beautiful coat of many colors. And all the other 11 were just rolling their eyes saying, he gets it all. So when he was kind of lording it over them about his dreams, he had an interesting cause and effect relationship with the universe. And the brothers sold him into slavery. And wherever Joseph went, his consciousness aspired and transcended his experience. And wherever he landed, he always landed on higher ground. And what's so interesting, to be sold into slavery. And a slave that could read was just amazing. So with the great landowner, he became, he rose up. And then when he had his experience with not going along with the landowner's wife, because she was lusting after him, and he would not do that to his master, she made a big pretense that he sexually attacked her. And then he was put into prison. And in prison, he was interpreting dreams. And they would call him in. And suddenly he was the foreman in the prison. And suddenly the Pharaoh was having dreams, and he was plagued with his dreams about, the beautiful fat calves and cows, and then suddenly they were like skin and bones, and he was plagued. So that what happened is the servant that he interpreted the dream for in prison recommended him. And the Pharaoh called him in. And Joseph didn't know, he didn't bow down before him. He said, I can't bow down before you. I only bow down before the Lord my God. And of course the Pharaoh was somewhat impressed with this because everyone else was, they were always flattering him in a very superficial way. And he didn't like what Joseph said about, you're going to have 7 great years. The fatted cow, the fat, chubby cows are going to be 7 years of feast, and the others, 7 years of famine. And he came up with a solution about all the provinces bringing grain into the energy field. And what's so amazing by this is that when Joseph interpreted the dreams, right along the way, what was so interesting is that when the 7 stalks of corn bowed down before him, it was a future time. Because when the 7 years of famine hit, guess who came with empty sacks? Oh yes, the brothers, right? The 11 brothers who did not recognize the second most powerful man in all of Egypt by interpreting dreams. His intuition, his second sight, and the opportunity that he had to raise up from even prison to be the second most powerful man in all of Egypt. The Pharaoh put his ring on his finger and said, this man will be my great administrator. And so Joseph, in his more humble way now, learning and growing and unfolding, right, that he looked out and he saw the 11 brothers. And of course, the one brother that they shared the same mother, Sarah, who had died. And then there was Leah, who was the 11. And they did not recognize this powerful man. And he bade them come in. So the servant said, please come in, the master would like to see you. And they were given, baths and clean clothes and an amazing meal. And then he peered through, a little crevice and saw his brothers and recognized that Reuben, who really was the one that wanted to kill him, but they decided, to sell him to the slaves. And actually it was Reuben who saved him, and it was Simeon who wanted to kill him. So he saw the whole scene over again, and tears came to his eyes as he's looking at the brothers. And then he sees Benjamin, his brother, they shared their mother. And so he came out and he thought, I'm going to lay a trap for them. And in this trap, he had some of his silver put in one of their granary bags. And his request was that they leave Benjamin, the youngest brother, his full brother, there. And of course the brothers said, no, we cannot do this to our father Jacob. It'll break his heart. It broke his heart when our brother Joseph was killed. And Joseph said, he was killed? What happened? And they said, well, you know, we found his robe of many colors and it had blood on it. Well, they had taken one of the lambs and put the blood on it so that Jacob would think that Joseph had been attacked by a wild lion or some beast. So Joseph, can you imagine taking this all in? And the second most powerful man in the world. And there are the brothers. And so as it all unfolds, we know the story of how the brothers, you know, they came back to get Benjamin. And then Joseph comes down and reveals himself. And he said, oh, Simeon, Reuben. And you know, he's naming off all of the brothers. And of course, my Benjamin. Do you not recognize me? I am your brother. I am Joseph. And they were like aghast. Aghast. And Simeon broke down and said, I am the worst of them all. Please, do not forgive me. And he said, it is not up to me to forgive. It's up to God. You meant it for evil. God meant it for good. God meant it for good. So we have these experiences, and we feel that the law of life is not working because we find ourselves in the prison of our own thoughts and our own imaginings and all of the things that happen in the human condition. But God means it for good. Because if we were in a place where we needed to grow and unfold and expand, this is what we call in. Even prison, even being accused unrighteously. And someone said to me, I was on an interview, they said, when did you discover how powerful you are? I have never seen myself as powerful. I mean, yeah, I go all over the world, I'm speaking to 25,000 students in Africa, Madani, I'm doing all this stuff. It's just part of who I am. I don't see myself as this powerful. I never did. And so I was meditating on it. And I had a mentor in the school of minister. Her name was Dr. Stevens. And I just adored her. And she had this amazing church in the San Gabriel Valley. And she had a school with this church. And she came to the school of ministry. She would give us wonderful presentations. She was down to earth. She was like a mom. She was wonderful. And I had an opportunity before I came to Palm Springs to, go to that particular ministry. And they had 6 assistant female ministers. And they went looking for someone to bring in they wanted the church to grow. And it was down to like 20 people in this huge, magnificent, amazing church. With all the stained glass, the school, 350 children in the school. And they came down to San Diego and they asked if I would take the ministry. And I love the whole idea of the church and the school and the children. And I said yes, and I handed my ministry over to my assistant minister, and I went there. And these 6 assistant ministers says, well, what are we, chop liver? Go down there and get her. Well, what are we? And so I would have them do things, in the ministry. And in 1 year's time, we went from 20 people to 600 coming. We went from 1 service to 2 services. We had classes. And what was so amazing is that after a year, a little over a year, I was going night and day. And I needed to rest, regenerate, and recreate my energy. So usually ministers take August off. And so I took August off and I went to New Mexico. And I went to Taos and I went to this Caliente spa and mud baths and the whole thing. And I did nothing but meditate, ride horses, go get massages, really recreate my energy. And I met a wonderful young guy he was a tour guide. And he picked me up from the airport, and then he came back to get me in 3 weeks. And I stayed a week at his place, and we went doing all kinds of amazing things. It was one of those mystical, amazing experiences where we touch something and we know we've touched something and something is revealed. And I had this interesting kind of feeling. So while I was gone, the 6 assistant ministers were telling everybody, gossiping about me and all the, making stuff up. And people just love a good negative story, And did she really? Oh my God. And I got back, and so the board told the congregation that I had resigned. And I had, left this huge ministry, and I had left everything that I loved to be there. And the people of this ministry just went up in arms and wanted the board's resignation. And it was just this outrageous thing. And we had a congregational meeting, and people I'd never seen came, that they called and made up all these stories, and it was unbelievable. And my kids were there, and on this last Sunday. And they hired 4 armed guards to escort me out. Now, I looked at it, and they were like young guys, kids really. And they go, "You seem like a really nice lady. We're just so sorry that we have to do this." And I said, "Look, guys, look, it's all right. It's all right." And my son-in-law got up, and he said, "How you can look yourselves in the mirror. You're supposed to be spiritual people. No wonder people don't want to go to church with this kind of thing going on." And I said, "Yeah, I think God's been trying to get in this church forever." It's amazing how that works. And my kids were crying, and friends were just like stunned. And what happened was, when I was being escorted out, I felt such peace and such grace. And what I knew is that at the very deepest level, this really didn't have a whole lot to do with me. However, it was part of my destiny and what I was to do. And to forgive and to let go and to let God do what God does best by means of me, and to really empower myself at that moment. And at that moment, I thought, anyone, this great big board that's going to hire 4 armed guards to escort me out? God, I really must be powerful. I never realized that about myself. And I had a good laugh about it. And then the sadness of all the people that scatter in a situation like that. So I went across the street and started the Center for the Celebration of Life that I kicked in from I still had the nonprofit and all of that from other work. And over half the people followed me over to this hotel that we were doing services at for quite a while. And I thought to myself, what is this for me? And it really was about drawing the larger circle. He drew a circle that shut me out. That love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in. At that moment, I knew what it meant. At that moment, I knew that all those that were influenced to the negative, that's the human condition. It vibrates to that. But once we take a stand in the spiritual life and we say, yes, get thee behind me, Satan. I'm not even going to allow myself to enter into this. This has really nothing to do with me. On a deeper level, when we put ourselves in situations where we could be embittered, but we can be embittered or empowered. We can be bitter or better, all of the little cliches in metaphysics. And I made a decision at that moment, and that decision was really to draw the larger circle and to experience life in a much, much deeper way. And when I got that, when I really, really got that it's not about churchianity, it's not about a beautiful building, I was doing chapel every day for the children. Not about any of it, it's about consciousness. It's about energy. It's about light. It's about truth. It's about being who we are and connecting at the heart level. And as devastating as that experience, could have been, and then I have my kids crying in the audience, and my son-in-law get up and tell 600 people off, this is a church, look at yourselves. Look at yourselves. This is a church. This is spirituality. Look at yourselves. At that moment, it just all went away. And I realized God and I are the majority. And none of this outer things, none of this moves me. I am in a high place and I will not come down. And I was living on grounds, and they had taken this apartment so that one of the assistant ministers lived there. I moved her out and put the kids in there so they'd have a nice little Sunday school. I did things that I felt that would up-level the consciousness and the energy of this spiritual community. And of course, I heard that they closed their doors on the church part, and the school is still working. But what we know is that we're not about churchianity, we're about spirituality. So when we look at the opportunity for grace, and then to realize that we've been given this grace, and that in this moment of chaos, there is grace, there is love, there is truth, and there is beauty. And that the intuition that guides and directs us, and we find ourselves in the prison of our own thoughts, and look out at the people who betrayed us, and believe me, I was running into them when I was there, and just to bless them. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. And they don't. Because that negative energy, that lower vibratory frequency can swallow people up when they dedicate themselves to it. And this is why at the deepest level, we keep our consciousness in a place, a high place, where none of all of this stuff that goes on in the world moves us. So when you look at your own power, not to let the negative touch you, that's power. Not to let the negative touch you. And when you recognize the power that you are, and the openness that allows you to be who you are, that you listen to the still small voice of God. Be still and know that I am God. And when we recognize that, a whole world opens for us, and that we come out on the other side. So on this day, where we look at grace, all grace and power is given unto us by virtue of the fact that we are here, and that we open to it, and the opportunity that we have. The invisible act of power is to know the truth, and the truth will set us free, and that truth is oneness, all-inclusivity. It's feeling that love, that energy, and that light that penetrates anything unlike itself. So I stand before you today and acknowledge that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we are using it every single day of our lives, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. That we pay attention to what comes to us in our dream time, and that we have great visions and great opportunities while we are in the world, and yet of a higher spiritual value. We're all here together, and we're all moving up the mountaintop. And as we move up that mountaintop energetically, that something within us knows that it knows that it knows. That we are here such a short period of time. And that while we're here, let's be here now. Let's feel that energy. Let's listen to the heartbeat of life within us that allows us to live one moment at a time, beat by precious beat, because we're all going somewhere. Do you know where it is? Higher yet. Yes. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Because I am in a high place, and I will not come down. None of these things move me. I am in a high place, and I will not come down. And I say namaste. The God in me celebrates the God in you, and the God in you celebrates the God in me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. Shalom, the peace that passes all understanding, this beautiful Lieberman Chapel. And God bless us, everyone. Know that I love you, I'm grateful for you, and we are going higher.